Hey everyone, this is Kyle with Rosetta Tones, and welcome back to the second video in the Deciphering Music Theory series. Today, we're going to be taking a look at how to read notes. In the last video, we talked about the note middle C and where to find it on the bass and treble clef staves, but we didn't go into too much detail. There are two ways to identify a note. One is by its letter name, and the other is by its accidental. Let's take a look at the lettering system first. We give notes names based on the first 7 letters of the English alphabet. These are A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. This process repeats indefinitely, starting at A, going to G, and then restarting at A. It's important to know where certain notes are on the piano, because not every piano begins at A. In this case, we usually reference middle C, which is going to be in the same place on just about every piano. If you look at this piano, or this piano, or this piano, or even this piano, you can see that C is almost always at the center of the keyboard. From here you can go backwards or forwards to find any other note name. If you're having trouble finding C on the keyboard, look for this pattern. C will be directly next to a white key, and then followed by 2 black keys. If it is next to a white key, and followed by 3 black keys, that is the note F. We already mentioned in the previous video that middle C can be found 1 ledger line above the bass clef staff, or 1 ledger line below the treble clef staff. The next C in the bass clef staff can be found 2 spaces above the bottom of the staff, and 2 ledger lines below the staff. The next C in the treble clef staff can be found 2 spaces below the top of the staff, and 2 ledger lines above. Of course, you could continue to go further above or below the staff, and music will call for you to read higher or lower. From here, you can fill in the rest of the notes by counting up to G and then starting again at A. The last part of naming a note are the accidentals. When the note is written as a letter, the accidental is written to the right, but when the note is written on the staff, the accidental is to the left. There are 5 types of accidentals: the flat, natural, sharp, double flat, and double sharp. First, let's look at the natural accidental, which looks like this. If the note has no accidental in front or behind it, we assume that the note is natural. A natural note corresponds with a white key on the piano. In this case, we have A natural, D natural, C natural, etc. The natural sign shows up most often when a previous note in the measure was flatted or sharped, and sometimes as an occasional reminder. The flat symbol is used to lower a note 1/2 step. In most cases, this would be moving from 1 white key down to the closest black key. B natural becomes B flat, G natural becomes G flat, D natural becomes D flat, and so on. As we talked about before, there are 2 special cases. Since B and C and E and F do not have a black key between them, moving between either of these 2 notes is a 1/2 step. An F flat sounds the same as an E natural, and a C flat sounds the same as a B natural. When you play an F flat or C flat, you are playing the same key or fingering as an E natural or B natural. The sharp looks like a hashtag and tells us to raise a note 1/2 step. F natural would become an F sharp, D natural would become a D sharp, and C natural would become a C sharp. Just like before, an E sharp sounds the same as an F natural, and a B sharp sounds the same as a C natural. When 2 notes sound the same but are spelled differently, these are called enharmonic equivalents. An F sharp and G flat are spelled differently, but produce the same pitch when played on an instrument. If you look at a piano, an F that is sharp shares the same key as a G that is flat. The last 2 accidentals are the double flat and double sharp. The double flat looks like 2 flat signs placed next to each other. This tells us to lower the written note 2 1/2 steps, which is also called 1 whole step. B double flat is the same sounding pitch as an A natural. Likewise, an F double flat produces the same sounding pitch as an E flat. A double sharp looks like the letter X and tells us to raise a note by 2 1/2 steps. B double sharp produces the same sounding note as a C sharp, and G double sharp produces the same sounding note as an A natural. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and if you have any comments or questions, feel free to send me a message or comment below. If you want to practice identifying notes, visit the link in the description for some exercises and answer keys. I hope you enjoy.